Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this final edition of Métis Coffee Talk, coming to you for this Thursday, December 22nd. Hard to believe we're only 3 days or so away from Christmas. My name's Keith Henry. I'm the president of the BC Métis Federation, bringing this show to you, to members and partner communities and just onlookers, if you will, across British Columbia and some other parts of Canada. So thank you for joining me this evening. It's going to be sort of our wrap-up show for 2022. I'm joined in Paris, British Columbia, my vice president, or our vice president, Mr. Rene Therian. Rene, how are you doing?
Pretty good, thanks. Yourself?
Well, I'm good. How's everything going up in Terrace on this cold evening?
Well, right now it's only minus 12, but the last couple of days, a week, it was minus 20, and that's pretty cold for Terrace because it's so damp. But one thing, we don't have any snow yet.
Well, there you go. Yeah, well, no, I'm in Vancouver and there's a lot of snow here. We're having the opposite. So it's a different reality. Well, I guess the first order of business is, are you ready for Christmas in less than 72 hours?
Pretty well, yeah, for what we're going to be doing this year. I think we got it under control.
Well, we're kind of, we're wrapping up 2022 here, and we're quite excited that you've got some interesting information to share with us from Terrace today. I know we'll get into a little bit later, but we bring you on the show every month to share your Métis fiddle music, and I think you're going to share something with us. What's your first song of the evening going to be?
Well, since we're fairly close to Christmas, I was going to play for our listeners, Jingle Bell.
On the Métis fiddle, there you have it.
On the Métis fiddle. We'll see how it's going to work out.
Is your colleague with you tonight, Sean?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. Okay. All right. There you go, Rene. Well, there you go, Rene. That put us into the festive spirit right off the hop, right? Way to get the show going right away. So, hey, Rene, I do want to ask you, obviously, the Federation here in Vancouver, we're a provincial organization. We provided support to many of our partner communities. You're also involved as leadership in Terrace with the Skeena River Métis Community Association. We know you guys had a fun Christmas party very recently. How was the Christmas party? We posted pictures. How was it? What was I'm just going to bring them up while you're talking about it.
Actually, it was one of the better ones because there was 88 people that showed up. Sean and I did the entertainment. There was lots of kids. We had Santa Claus. The food was excellent, and it was perfect. We couldn't ask better for people to come up. There was a lot of friends that came and supported us, so it was excellent.
Yeah, yeah, I really appreciated the fact that your president, Elizabeth, and of course yourself and Roseanne and the board there just continued to provide that local community connection. What do you think? A lot of kids, like, what did you guys get? I don't know what you guys did with the kids. Did you guys give out gifts and stuff like that for the kids?
Yes, we did. There was 25 kids. Roseanne and Elizabeth looked after that. They done an excellent job. Roseanne did an excellent job cleaning it after, and the cake was excellent. So no, to me, I think you couldn't ask for a better night than that's the Christmas dinner that we had.
You
Yeah,
guys
well-
have-
Well, who was Santa?
Santa Claus was Alan.
Oh, we shouldn't tell that. The kids might still think it was jolly old Saint Nick from North Pole himself. Well, I'm glad that you had a substitute for that evening, right?
Yes, we did. Yeah, he was our spare fella. Spare
Well,
Santa Claus. Yeah.
yeah, part of what we do at the Federation is help support our partner communities with what resources we have. And just really glad we could partner with you guys at Skeena River and in Terrace. And it's interesting, you and I talk about this, right? We have community meetings about programs and governance, and people kind of like it's hard to get people to come to that, right? They just want to come up for the fun stuff. So, you have a Christmas dinner and you're 88 people. There you go. So I mean, nice turnout. Congratulations for the successful evening.
Yeah, it was hard work for our president, and Roseanne and the board did an excellent job. Sean and I done the plane, and that was good for us. We enjoyed that. So no, that was good.
Perfect. Well, why don't we jump right into the second, one of the items you wanted to share today? I don't know if you're able to move the camera right now, or if you want to come back to that later.
Well, I can move it. It's actually our new office. And I could show some pictures, and thanks to the BCMF for it. And then I'll just turn it around and start walking a little bit.
Oh, there you go. Well, we're picking you up live, so it's perfect.
Mhm.
So this is
Okay.
your new office in Terrace, BC.
That is our new office in Terrace, and I'll just go slow here. I don't know if I got it tilted right or what, or
Yeah, no, it looks good. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, yeah. So what are we looking at here? Is the front of the office here?
that's the front and that's the street. I'll just back up a little bit. You could.
I
see
heard
the
you're on
back-
a penthouse building in Terrace. Is that true?
Okay, I'm just gonna go slow. Then I'm
None
going to take you on our way out. This is our bathroom.
Well, good thing you have that.
Oh, it's a must. And I'll come up here a little bit. It's a little bit bigger, and that'll be our secretary or whatever we're gonna have soon, hopefully.
Yep. Nice. So you guys just opened this up, right, for members, just so this is another one of our partner communities. You guys just opened this office up to the public. You guys were kind of operating as a
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, it's
And we're gonna do some painting, as you can see on the floor, we bought the paint already.
Yep.
perfect.
And we'll go this way. That's
So
coming
why-
in.
So that's perfect, Renee, just to give people a sense. Where is that located, that office?
This is located in the old, let's see now, where? The old credit union building, it's on Lizelle. If you look across there, it's Safeway is right across. I don't know if you could see it.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and then maybe I'll go closer to the window and then if it was during the day, you could see our huge hospital is sticking out. Okay, so that's going downtown.
Perfect.
In the 4600 block.
Yeah, 4600 block, yeah.
So you
The
guys
street-
you have a new office downtown in Terrace. I mean, obviously, to the members that don't know, I mean, this is one of 9 partner communities we work closely with. The Federation, part of what we do as well is provide a bit of support so the communities themselves, these partner organizations, can continue to create some infrastructure. So they've now got an office after I know that we talked with you guys, and you guys are doing things on your own, plus we're contributing a little bit. Why was that important to the leadership in Terrace? Why do you think it matters to have that space?
It was important to us because our membership needs to grow and we need to have a place to meet. So they have a place to belong to, and this is a perfect place. thanks to you, BCMF, for, the contribution. It really helped. And I think it's going to take us a little bit further. Our membership is fairly good, but we need to increase it, and we need to have more, I wouldn't say help, but we need more support from the Terrace area. And we're getting people from Kitimat. We got phone call from Smithers. So it's beneficial for all the Métis around here.
It's so important that we give we contribute to that sense of community belonging, right? And I see that in so many places, not just Terrace, but we also contributed to an event in Clearwater. And well, first of all, before I get off that, I want to say congratulations. I know you guys have been, as a board, you're a nonprofit, you're structured, corporately that way. So every dollar matters. The decisions often become, should we do this or this? And often organizations just kind of do community gatherings and they rent halls, but you guys made the decision to set up some infrastructure. So I just want to congratulate the leadership, and it's a step. It's an important first step, right? It really, and I agree with you. It gives Métis people a place to, maybe even if it's just a place to have, membership facilitated in a more simpler way where they can actually go into an office and talk to someone, or just hang out and just connect with other people in their community. I think these are all the other pieces that come out of a nice space like that. So clearly you guys are just getting it set up, but you guys must be very proud of that, getting that going.
Yeah, we are, and we're going to start working because we're hopefully to have our festival again, renew our festival this year. And we got to meet quite often, and this office will definitely serve us good, because otherwise we got to go at my daughter's barn or rent a room or go in the restaurant. Here it's much better to meet here.
Yeah, this is such a story of so many Métis locals, as we called in Saskatchewan, where I grew up, or over the years, just seeing across the country, just local community organizations trying to struggle with, okay, what's the right path? But I really congratulate you guys, because you have to have a little bit of infrastructure. You got to be, otherwise no one takes you serious. That's the truth. And I think it's great leadership, and the Federation will continue to support you guys as you're doing that. So it looks great, by the way. So, you just got to get all those. Next year you can have a Christmas party. You'll jam all 88 people in there, I guess.
Well, I don't know how big it is, but maybe for a smaller event, that might do it.
Yeah.
But it's definitely will help. We always wanted for a long time, and we couldn't afford it. But now with the contribution from you guys, from our office in Vancouver, we decided to go ahead on it.
Yeah, perfect. Well, Renee, congratulations. I'm going to get you and Sean to get ready for your next song. I'm going to come back to you in about a minute. What I want to do is share just showcase another great event. The North Thompson Cultural Society out in our partner organization in Clearwater. They also had a really nice Christmas lunch this past weekend. What a great turnout they had. It was just excellent in Clearwater. They provided gifts to the kids and some hampers for some families and stuff. And just want to congratulate Cindy and the board over there as well in Clearwater. There was such a sense this was entirely their event. Looks like they took over a local restaurant and just held the event in there. And I just want to say how much we like to see that the Federation, that the community leaders are bringing the families, the kids together, connecting the Métis families, in a way that just helps them belong, right? Just to the point that Renee made about what's happening in Terrace. So I just want to say congratulations to our friends over in Clearwater. It was obviously a very nice event, and just want to congratulate the folks there on a great Christmas event. So Renee, what's going to be your next song for the folks online tonight?
The next song is I was listening to a fiddle tune, and it's not the tune that gave me the urge to learn it. It was the title. It's called "The Rabbit Jump."
Very nice. Rabbit jump.
Rabbits, yeah, yeah.
Well, when did you learn that song?
Maybe a couple of days ago. Sean and I introduced it to Sean. He said, well, that's pretty good. Let's use it. That if we ever go to on the coffee talk, let's use it. So something different.
Good jig.
Okay. Well, here, that's you're a fast learner, I guess, eh?
Well, I didn't do it well, but it's a simple one. It's a simple little tune.
All right. Well, listen, I'll give you and Sean a break for a bit. You can think about your next song. I'm going to just give members and partners a quick overview. We had the BC Métis Federation board meeting recently in the Lower Mainland over in Burnaby. It was, it was on December 10th, and we did post the minutes. I won't go through the minutes at great length, other than just to let members know there was some important discussions and items shared, specifically around sort of our reporting from April 1st, so about halfway through this current year. So our fiscal year as as a provincial nonprofit body starts April 1st and ends March 31st, much in line with many government programs, things like that. So I think some of you would know that attended our AGM and so forth, or maybe very familiar. So we gave a really thorough update as management with the board. And it was, I would say it was a really good representation of how we've progressed as an organization and sort of the different programs, services, capacity building endeavors we're making. And it just really was just to put it in some simplest terms, it was a very positive meeting in terms of all the things that we've been able to move forward. We continue to address some challenges, as you'll see in the minutes. If you've had a chance, they're been posted on our website. Certainly happy to answer questions from members. We did get some feedback on the Facebook page. Well, people wanted to know what was our position in terms of the recent long gun sort of legislation that the federal government has come out with. We didn't tackle those issues yet. We really haven't. And but we are dealing with the operational needs of the organization right now and some of the key policy needs. So, I won't go into great detail of this other than to say that I will actually show you shortly some of the specific reporting in what we're calling our key performance indicator report that hopefully you've looked at. It was featured at our AGM, but I do want to touch on a few things because it does show how important these things are. The other thing, too, we keep dealing with a lot of challenges, not so much us administratively getting programs and services to help members and partner communities and other things we're trying to do and, support Métis culture, all the rest of that. We also just address sometimes some challenges, and you might see in the minutes, there was some discriminatory behavior one of our staff faced at a Coast Guard meeting in November. We've taken a number of steps to sort of address that with partners, and we continue to, and it's all around sort of, just to put it candidly, because you may not understand if you read the minutes, it's, some of it's a bit of First Nation Métis disagreement and on standing and policy. But those are things that we as the Federation just won't let our members, be subjected to without addressing. So we continue to work through those things, and we don't put all of the details out because it's not fair to the parties involved, but certainly we're addressing that. We continue to ramp up things like communications. Like I'm sure you saw the December newsletter just came out earlier this week before we shut for Christmas. We are updating some more of our communications plans to just increase social media presence across British Columbia and of course Canada. So there's just a number of things in here. The reporting from all our team was excellent. And of course, ultimately it ended that the key performance indicator report was approved by official motion by the board. The one thing I did want to draw to your attention, though, we will be organizing, and our vice president here online with me tonight Renee Therian is our elected leader that's going to help work with myself and our management team to organize community visits. And we're trying to get 6 or 7 planned community visits starting in January and ending in March. And we're that'll be where our whole team comes out and hosts a day event, gives you a lot more just details and insight about these various programs and services and things that actually are available to the members that may not fully realize. Things have been expanding quite dramatically. So I would just say watch for that in January. There'll be some more communications on our website, our Facebook, our email distribution. Either one of those 3 platforms, you'll be able to get quite a bit of insight. So we're very excited about that. These all be 1 day, full day meetings. Saturdays or Sundays, we're going to try and do it to make sure people aren't stuck at work and things like that. But our team we're just going to continue to work our way around that. So those are sort of some of the things we're working on. Nothing else really major in the minutes other than just, sort of getting ready for, I guess, closing for Christmas, which is, effectively here today. You might have also seen, if you're following along online, you'll see that what I mentioned a moment ago, the key performance indicator report. This has been like, if you really want to understand how we at the Federation work, we present a plan to our board, and we have really strong governance that way, right? And we say, here, we're going to spend this much money and here's what we're going to get for it. And we set out a series of what we call key performance indicators. So these are some of those examples, right? And we shared this at the AGM, right? I'll give you an example. Procurement. We generate 400,000 in procurement contributions. So we on that we're already 100%. And the truth is, the organization will raise more about $1 million in own source revenues to help contribute to culture and community capacity, things that we're doing. We don't get this, we're not saving this money. We're reinvesting it into culture, to communities like Skeena, to Christmas events, to $1,000 per community. We're really trying to build that sort of capacity across the organization. So those are critical strategies for us in terms of how we measure. And the way we originally said to the board, we were going to spend X amount on the staffing of that position and some capacity, and we'd raise at least 100,000, and that would be 100% success. Well, we're way over that. So the truth is, we're almost going to triple that this year. So that's quite a nice surprise for us. Other things like career services, we continue to link some of our members that are looking for work with jobs. We have a tremendous job board that our team works on. We've helped 91 people, and this is actually outdated, as our team has reminded me this last week. This is now, this was updated November. If you see at the bottom of the page here, we've far surpassed that already, and we're in about 113 or so right now. But anyways, these are the way that we try to simplify it for the board. We give a financial report, and all these things are how we measure, are we making progress or not? And you'll see that whether it's industry engagement, Coast Guard, health and wellness, we're just trying to move the needle to help our members where the members have guided us to move. And this is all based on our overall strategic plan 2021 to 2024. So that was an existing plan that we've shared with online here before. It's on our website. So what all I'm saying with all this is that we tie these things together on an annual basis through these key performance indicators, and then we create an investment strategy that backs up all of these. So as you can see, we just continue to work our way through these steps on governance. You saw back here on communications, the Indigenous Advisory Monitoring Committee, which continues to be a struggle for us, but we're working our way through those items. And member and community support, we continue to try, and we're, going to be having community events. So 20%, we had done one to November. We've got 6 or so we're planning to get done by the end of March. So, Renee's got his hands full. He's got a lot of work. He's trying to pull to coordinate with us. So these are all the things we're doing. And you can see things like, community partners provide funding support of $1,000 per month. Our partner communities, those 9 or 10, we have 10 actually, but one is not needing the resources. So 9 that we're trying to support. So, it's 9,000 a month times 12 months. You start adding that up, it's a significant investment that we have to raise. So that's why that ECDEV is so important, because it doesn't seem like provincial or federally, there's a program that specifically wants to provide that infrastructure support for Métis organizations. So we're creating that, right? Those are the things we're doing. The other thing that we're really excited about is the community cultural outreach. We're going to continue to work. We've got a new staff member, we hope, joining us very shortly. She will be helping us work with our partner communities to continue to help them build an actual cultural plan. And that's really around, they have festivals, events, monthly meetings. What are the things we can do to give them tools to help them continue to support Métis sort of culture? And that includes things like wrapping up our Michif language into it. Like the last show, if you guys recall, that might have been watching in November, we shared with you some really neat Michif language, simple speak templates. You know, some just basic conversational Michif, and there was an audio clip on there. And we're continuing to try and get those materials on our website in a easily findable format that people can just start using them and learning those conversational pieces in addition to the extensive curriculum we've done. So just bringing all that together, and I was just talking about the Métis curriculum, and of course, you know, we still advance Project Coming Home. Like, we've got the space, we're continuing to plan for it. We're doing the feasibility and business plan. So these are all the things we advise the board about, and we share with, are we making progress or not, right? And so, and you know, and I think you've known, we've had Joe Desjardins on here, our director of research, continuing the research, continuing the Métis cross-cultural education program options for those partners that want to have cross-cultural Métis education, not just local other Indigenous populations, but also the local Métis population, which is a different community of Indigenous people. So we continue to advance all those steps. You know, so all that to say that, you know, the board meeting reinforced our board's confidence in the management of how we're achieving the results, how we're trying to get those results in place, and the investments necessary, and that they're actually worthwhile investments. And that's often what I see. I've been an administrator for Indigenous organizations since, specifically as a CEO, since roughly about 1999, 98. So, you know, I hate to say it, but it gives you a lot of years of experience just trying to help people work towards a strategic plan rather than just doing it all yourself, right? And that's always the trick of our success in any organization, whether it's Métis or not. Anyways, that's enough of that. We haven't had too many questions or anything like that. So I'm monitoring online on my phone. But Renee, why don't we get off that corporate stuff? I'm sure that's bored everyone to death for the last 10 minutes. Why don't you give us another song? What are you and Sean going to play for us next?
This next song that I chose there, I was looking through some tapes, some CDs. I've been involved with the Métis for the last 24 years. I got elected in 1998, actually, to opening, and in them years, it was a region in Terrace. I had the honor to play with some of the best Métis fiddle players. And a CD that I was given to me by Art Bird, one of the greatest fiddle player there is. And I picked one of his tunes. I liked it, so I'll see what I could do with it. But, you know, that my climax of being with the Métis for so many years, it was to play with the best musician, best fiddle players. And to me, I think it was an honor to be there and being able to play with these guys.
Great job, Renee. Great
Yeah,
job.
it's a hard tune to play, but he played it so nice that, but anyway, yeah, he was a great fiddle player.
Well, yeah, Art Bird definitely. I got a chance to just meet him in the last part of his life, and yes, very talented fiddler. Yeah, good. I considered him an instant. He felt like family to me, and I met the family, and yeah, just he left us far too early. But we honor his legacy by you playing his tunes, right? And he was definitely a special fiddler. So thanks for doing that, Renee. I appreciate that.
Oh, yeah, no, he actually touched me because the way that you meet him, I mean, he was so friendly to share his talent with me. And he did so many times. And I played in Manitoba, and both of us, I says, I'm pretty nervous. He said, don't be nervous. He said, just watch me. And he said, just follow. That's all I needed.
Yeah, that's great. Well, we're getting a lot. You got a lot of fans here online there, Renee. Roseanne is saying Merry Christmas, everyone, and loving the songs. And Jeannie Cardinal, of course, your partner in crime, Earl Belcourt. Earl's on there, and Don Woodcock's there. He says my volume wasn't working. I'm not sure. Hopefully it's coming through loud and clear on your guys' end. But yeah, and Karen Andrews, yeah. So anyways, it's great to see many people on here liking and all that sort of good stuff. So Merry Christmas to the crew watching live.
That's perfect. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Hey, I just wanted to share. I don't know if you know, we posted something on Facebook this week, and we like to feature different stories of different Métis people in British Columbia doing some neat things. I did want to share the story tonight, and then there's a couple other items. I don't know if you've ever met this woman, but there's a local Métis business that I think we wanted to. I really hope people online can oops, sorry, I'm making it worse here. Anyways, this Raven Reads, a local BC based business. There, Raven Reads is a subscription-based book club with monthly offerings for kids and adults, and is an excellent way to unbox Indigenous voices. So she's obviously created a book sort of sharing business. And they have some, I just want to read this, what they posted here. They have some new community members, and they would love an opportunity to introduce themselves before they slow down for the holiday and welcome a new year. The woman who runs this is Nicole McLaren, and she's a Métis mother and wife from Surrey, BC. Her family comes from Prince Albert, Saskatchewan, and Trail, BC. She spent 13 years in Saskatoon attending university and started her family and now live in a small mountain community called Logan Lake near Kamloops. Raven Reads began as a workplace book club in 2016, and she was working for a larger corporation and looking for creative ways to engage her co-workers in the movement of reconciliation. She started a lunchtime book club with her co-workers where she focused on books written exclusively by Indigenous authors. When she saw how impactful these were, she saw the opportunity to try to get more Indigenous literature to Canadian doorsteps. The very first book was The Breakaway by Katharina Vermette. After launching in 2017, Raven Reads remained a small business operating out of the basement part-time while she continued to work at a local mine. In 2020, she decided to scale the business and hired the first team and moved out of her home into a proper warehouse in Kamloops. They've suffered a lengthy list of challenges and achievements in the past couple of years, growing from a team of 1 to a team of 8 and back to a team of 3. She's so incredibly grateful for the patience and support she has received in 5+ years. Some of us have been with her since day one, and we are so thankful. So anyways, yeah, I just wanted to share. I think that's a really good news story. Like I don't know Kim myself, Nicole McLaren very well. But it's a book club and talking about reconciliation, and I'm just glad to see it's a Métis person sharing different Métis, not just Métis, First Nation, I'm assuming but different Indigenous literature with non-Indigenous people about reconciliation. So I just thought it was a good story to highlight. We don't see enough of, at least I don't see a lot about Indigenous literature out there, on often our own networks of people. So just wanted to share that story, Renee. I don't know if you've ever run across this Nicole at all before, or have you ever met Nicole before?
I haven't, no, definitely.
No, same here. But you know what? I just think it's a good story and something we should celebrate. And I'm just glad that there's someone out there, and I think it's a worthwhile story sharing. Now, I did want to also just quickly go over. We did I'm not sure if everyone saw, but as I said a moment ago, we did release our newsletter for December. And so I thought what I would do just very briefly, just kind of highlight some key items in the newsletter, because I think there's some great additions in the, are great people to feature in the newsletter. So, first of all, we did the staff member minute, and then I know Karen's online, so we highlighted Karen. So really happy that Karen Andrews has continued to be with our Federation team as a employment coordinator for us. And, many of us know Karen around Prince George and all across Métis organizations. Karen did a lot of work within many industry partners, which is highlighted in this sort of short bio on her. She did work with TC Energy and different oil and gas sector companies. And she was, I can say this, I remember Karen and our engagement years ago with TC Energy, just always an honorable representative, always trying to help if she could, really straightforward. So when the opportunity came to bring her as part of our organization, I know that all of us, our management and board, were very happy to have her join us. And many people probably don't know this, and she discloses herself as a residential school survivor. Most of her life, she thought she wasn't very smart because school had been such a struggle. However, she decided to challenge that long-held belief and went to Thompson Rivers University in Kamloops at the age of 55 and ended up on the dean's list. That's for people with good grades. I like that we put that. Yeah, someone might ask, who's dean? Well, anyways, obviously it's someone, you have to have high marks to get there. And then the world opened up after that, and getting the best job in the world with TransCanada Pipeline was just the beginning. She now lives in Prince George, proud Métis woman from the Desjardins, Gladue, Wananadi and Cunningham families, helping others bring her great joy. Karen, I just want to say thanks for your ongoing work to help on the employment side. You've helped so many of our Métis and members and other Métis that aren't part of our membership, but we've always said to you, just help any Métis that asks for it in terms of jobs. So just want to just say congratulations, Karen, for being highlighted. And yeah, it's great to have you part of the team. Renee, it's we've had lots of different relationships with Karen over the years, right? And it's she's been a great addition to this team.
She has, I've known her for a bit now, for a few years, and she's excellent, nice lady, and I think she works well, and she's a proud Métis.
She's one of the best jiggers we have.
Yes, she is. Yes, definitely. Yes.
She's the only the people online may not know this, but they're watching. But we have quite an interesting family. So we have our management team and different team members from across the province. We don't just all work in our Vancouver office. And often when we're having team meetings, if we put a little Métis music on or something, we will watch Karen start almost jigging on the video. So there you go. She's in her chair. She's got her feet. You can just tell she's a very proud Métis woman. So it's nice to have that kind of spirit about her. So anyways, Karen, we're so happy to have you part of the team. I also want to acknowledge Joe Desjardins, our director of research. He sent out a really nice message to not only to his team, but all to the members of BC Métis Federation across the province. I think he shared a little bit about reflecting on the work they've done with the research project and, of course, the terrestrial investigations project and other initiatives that we've got them working on around the Pacific Northwest. Just want to thank Joe and the entire team, Roseanne, Cindy, Diane, Brianna, and Karen. I mean, all of these community representatives have really stepped up and continue to help work with Joe, Bruce, and Tanner, the sort of the core research team. And they're just preparing documents and mapping and all the things that contribute to those kind of giving us the sources of data and information. And just want to say thank you to everyone. And I'm glad Joe wrote this piece in the newsletter. I'm glad that we had a chance to just honor all of the team that's doing this incredibly important work for the BC Métis Federation, to help tell the true story of the Pacific Northwest and the Métis experience within that. So just want to say thank you to the whole team that I know many of which are watching tonight. And I say watch for in the coming year. Just some other items too, great work with Angel and their Coast Guard work. They're doing this aquatic and land-based activity survey. You probably have seen an email or two come to you if you're members, and if you're not, you might have seen it on our social media, our Facebook page. But we have participants that complete the survey are entered to win a draw. It's a Visa prize pack. First prize, $100 Visa. Second is $75. Third is $50. fourth is 25. So 4 people are going to win a Visa prize pack for just simply doing a survey that really doesn't take us that long. Again, it's in regards to aquatic and land-based activities and conservation concerns. We know Métis people care about the land and the water as well. It's not exclusively one Indigenous group over another. Our members have raised this. We've heard you loud and clear, and we continue to do that. I'm happy to say so far we've had a tremendous amount of surveys filled out. But if you're interested, please, you can visit the website URL there is www.bcmétis.com/conservation survey. Enter your information, be entered to win a prize. It's very simple, and 4 people are gonna have a lucky winner. And then finally, I just want to say the newsletter also talked about the Michif conversation series. So we've been asking people in the newsletter. I hope you've been enjoying our Michif Monday posts on Facebook. The language team is working hard behind the scenes to develop engaging tools and content to support learners with developing some French Michif basics. Starting in January, we will be providing members with some Michif language support in the form of the Michif conversational series. So I spoke about that earlier in the show. Coming in January, we will be releasing a lot more of those items to watch. So watch on our Facebook page, watch on our email distribution, watch on our website. We will have those items out. So it'll be, and of course, we're on Instagram now. I always forget that as well. So it's just to help with just basic daily conversation. So we have the extensive curriculum, but we know not everyone's going to sit at their computers and spend thousands of hours or hundreds of hours going through that. That's more was built for the K-12 in BC system. We do want you, those adults and elders and everyone else that's still trying to connect with Michif, the French Michif we're doing. So, Renee, thank you for the work you guys are doing on that. You're the leader of that. You're the portfolio holders, our vice president for Michif language. Just want to say just incredibly important work you guys are doing.
You're welcome. And I have a good team, Jeannie and Allie and Francis. They're great people to work with. And yes, I really enjoy what they're doing, and they're working hard at it. So I can't complain on the help that I'm getting.
Well, and we know it's almost Christmas time, and I just want to let people know our office closed yesterday on the 21st, and we're closed till the 4th of January. And we just want to wish all of our members and all of you tonight, as we've said many times, but just we just want to say to everyone, it's been a really great year for the Federation, and I'm sure you get a sense of it through this kind of show or watching our information go out. But there's so much more yet exciting that we're doing. And I would say this next 3 months coming up, January to March, are going to be very exciting. You can come attend community meetings. I know, Renee, you're planning to be at all those community meetings, I believe.
Yes, I'm planning. Yeah, I hope that the weather will hold out and I'm able to fly out, but I'm looking forward to attend all of them.
Yeah, and we want to connect with members. We want people to come out. We're talking about incentivizing people to come out to those community meetings. It's a full day. It'll be a 10 till 4 type thing, whether we're in Clearwater, Prince George, or Terrace, or Vancouver Island, maybe in Victoria or somewhere central in the island, or Surrey. We're working with our partners at the Nova Métis Heritage Association to find a date in Surrey. But we want all Métis to come off. They want to learn about us. We'll have our whole team there, our different directors, of whether it's director of industry or director of Michif language, and then Renee's there as our leader, and I will join as many of those as I can, of course. And we just want people to connect with our organization, to feel that like they understand how they can either contribute or maybe they might need some help. And we've got some new programs coming out. We have been I don't want to say fully yet, but we're working on a new youth program and running 2 initiatives in the new year. Hopefully in the next sort of 12 months is the length of the program. So in Prince George and in Kelowna. So we've got so many new initiatives coming up, and we just really want people to connect. So although we're closing until January 4th, I really want people to just, I've said to our team and I say to our leadership, take this time, reflect, think about how far we've come. Just really reflect on how far we've come. Like, Renee, you and you've been around me with this since the start of this, right? I mean, we helped build an alternative voice for Métis people through the BC Métis Federation, and we started this journey in 2011. So we're 11 years old and almost 12. And I don't know about you, but I just feel like it's been an incredibly successful journey now. It didn't feel like that some years, but I can say today, I've never seen so much progress as I have in particularly the last year. And hopefully you see it the same way. What's your sort of reflection on this last year?
Our last year was excellent from where we were 11 years ago. And I do have to thank the board. And most of all, I want to thank you as the president and the CEO for your hard work. All of us done it, we're at it, and hopefully we could continue to work for our members. So yeah, that's.
Well, I couldn't have done it without my wingman. So thank you, Renee, for being a persistent and consistent elder. I know you don't want me to call you that, but you are to me. And thank you for always keeping us level-headed and just thinking about what's in the best interest of the members. You've definitely always brought that stability and that vision to us. So it's been really appreciated. And then, yeah, many of us are, like you said, I thank all the board, but particularly I have to say to you in front of everyone online tonight, you've definitely been an incredibly important component of this organization from day one. You guided me and not losing and not getting my temper all, I'm cooling off in my older age. So Renee, why don't we finish off the show here a bit early today? Why don't we give us a couple songs, maybe one or two songs before and then we'll wind up the show.
Okay.
What do you got? One or two songs?
It's called Acorn Breakdown.
That's great, Renee. Acorn Surprise, is that what you called it?
Acorn Breakdown.
Oh, Acorn Breakdown. Oh, I thought it was Surprise.
Another Art Bird's tune.
Okay. Do you have one last Christmas song you can give us before we say goodbye to everyone?
At Christmas.
Do you have anything else? Or you can just do Jingle Bells again today. Again, I don't whatever. Whatever's going to sign us off in a good way for the Christmas holiday.
I think I'm going to play my most request tune. It's called Cajun Fiddle.
Okay. Well, there you go. Christmas with Cajun Fiddle. Well, Renee, we're almost done. What's your hopes for 2023?
Our hope is to be as good as we did this year. Excellent, and everybody stays in good health, and just keep moving on and do the best we can, I think.
Yeah, perfect. Well, I want to say thank you to your backup there. I can see the very side of his guitar. Sean, thank you for helping out in 2022.
Very welcome. My pleasure.
It's like Renee's like Jay Leno here. He's got a backup band just sitting off on the wings there. So he's like, but Renee, just thank you guys. And really, Sean, we do appreciate your help with Renee and it's you're volunteering, and just want to say how much I do appreciate that. And I know it's not easy to give up an hour once a month with us, but just want to say how much I do appreciate it.
And here I'd like to thank definitely our president in Terrace, Elizabeth. She's been working hard, and what's going on here is because of her work, and she deserves definitely a good thank you.
Yeah. Well, that's great. Yeah, no, I thank Elizabeth and Terrace. I thank Cindy, not only on our board, but the president in Clearwater. She's worked for years and just helping build that organization. It's people like Elizabeth and Cindy, Sean Bordelon and Prince George, the president there, trying to keep the Métis, Piec Lamond and just contributing to what our family's legacy of being involved in Métis politics and organizations there. I think of Mary, Mary's quite elderly now, and, on South Island Métis Nation, and she's trying her best to keep things moving, and she's getting help from Earl now. But I mean, just, or Harlan Coles, Harlan, the president and Surrey, the Nova Métis Arts Association. His dad, Ronald, was the vice president alongside Kevin Fisher for oh my goodness, for years and years and years. And now he's trying to figure out a way to keep that organization going, because they faced a lot of challenges, and he's desperately trying to keep that going. All of these leaders, and our friend Greg Mazur, now the Métis Association of Central Okanagan, so many of these people contributing without a paycheck and just trying to keep the Métis voice alive. I just want to say to everyone, I do appreciate that. I also want to say thank you to our board, whether it's yourself, Renee, as I've given some shout outs to Roseanne, our friend from Terrace. She's been an excellent board member. Earl from Vancouver Island, everyone knows Earl Belcourt. I think of Earl in the sense of he's a guy that, he just doesn't, he doesn't put up with any crap, and I sort of like that about him. He's always working hard and always trying to bring the Métis voice forward, and wearing his marquee Métis jacket. And over the years, I remember seeing that years ago when I first moved to BC, and I always thought, who is that guy? He's got some swagger about him. I like that. But yeah, anyways, he's kept that with us. Jackie Swaysland, she's helping us. She's in the Penticton and has become a great secretary for our board. Louise Lambert, newer to our board, but from the Kelowna area. We have a really great group of leaders, and I just want to say thank you, a shout out to all the team members, the staff, the directors. It's just been one of those things where we just, we've really built from almost nothing to such an infrastructure of great mindsets and people and commitment. So, my hope for the new year, 2023, I can't wait to see Project Coming Home open up. I can't wait to be in the communities, to see the community meetings. I can't wait for Renee, for us to have really big festivals and events in the summer of 2023. We haven't had a good summer of that. Let's face it, even this last summer, we couldn't really get those big events going. We kind of did, but it felt like people were reluctant to travel still because of the ongoing impacts of the COVID pandemic. There was still kind of a little bit lingering lot this last summer. I'm just looking to really see things advance, and to our partners that are that watch us on every month, I just want to say thank you. And we need to do more if we want to achieve reconciliation, which is ultimately what we're all trying to do. These are things we need everyone on deck to help us. There's many issues to help correct, and we're going to keep doing that. So I do want to sign off shortly, but anything you want to say in Michif before we leave, Renee? Any closing words of wisdom?
Bonne Noël à toutes nos amis, puis tout le monde qui écoute ce programme. Bonne fête.
Okay, and translation, please.
I want to all our listeners, it's Merry Christmas for the good job, and it's hard to translate word for word, but that's pretty well what I was saying.
And I just want to say, over my shoulder here, I guess my other side, we say le temps passé, le temps qui vient, right? From our past for our future. Everything we do is for our future. So Renee, Sean, have a great night. Congratulations on the new office in Terrace. I'm glad we could see it, and I can't wait to see once it's all painted and all the things you're gonna make it look great. And to everyone online tonight that's following live, I just want to say have a Merry Christmas to all of you. And really, Marseille, have a great evening, and we'll see you in 2023. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good. Excellent. Good meeting, eh?
That was all right.
Yeah, that was good.